Now these days I've been posting some videos, mostly in Italian, because I was so stressed that I just didn't feel like doing them in other languages. But very stressed out because of the move, because at the last minute, I mean, it was funny because, I mean, I have chosen this house, and when I saw it the first time, I saw that there were some problems, but it was like, no, this is my house, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then when I had just sent the money to pay for the first month and several expenses and the deposit and so on, after sending that, I came into a sort of stress and anxiety, thinking that I had that it was a big mistake. You know, it's just useless, because of course I should have thought it before. But it wasn't a mistake. In fact, it was a question of because these problems are, well, mainly the fact that this house is 4 stories. Oh, well. Just a second. So it was my sister on the phone, and usually I would have stopped the phone, but because I was recording a video, but this thing that she's taking care of my furniture and of my home, it makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel not so lonely, you know? Because making such a move, I mean, she sent me this this article, I think of Buddhist or something, talking about, no, the symbols, yeah, the dictionary of symbols, and the house is the house of the soul, the house of the spirit, it's identity. It's so changing a house is it's a big thing, inner wise, emotionally, and of course it was natural to have this sort of rejection of the house just after I had decided that I would take it and I had paid for it, you know. So yeah, I think that, so the first thing that because I called my sister when I was very anxious that I had paid for the house, and then all these doubts came to me. So I called her, and she told me, I mean, you've paid for it. Now, why, you know, now try to go back, you know? You have decided, so it depends on how you look at things, you know? You have to give this house the look of love, you know, and try to imagine and make it nice and think about it nice and so on. And she's an architect, an interiors architect, so I asked her for help. And so I sent her the pictures and I sent her the plans of the house. So she started to advise me on how to, you know, what to put in each room, and in the end it's just wonderful. So it's just really, you know, the look of love, you know. And also because she has told me, oh, don't bring that or don't bring that. So I have been sort of finally deciding. I mean, I've already been in this process of, you know, throwing away stuff and selling stuff and really, you know, traveling light. And I've been selling stuff, and this has, of course, helped me to earn some money as well. But you know, there were things that I was still sort of attached to, you know. And these things, for example, a desk, a big desk that comes from my, you know, first marriage, you know, and it's old and it's heavy and it's just useless, you know, to you know. I've moved that desk like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and that would be the 7th, you know. No, thank you. That desk is going to go, you know. And the same with this furniture, this huge, piece of furniture with shelves, you know. It's heavy, so heavy, you know, and so complicated to unmount and mount. It's just, no. So I'm giving it away. And so, yeah, I'm traveling light, and this is making my my move. It's making my move easier because, yeah, I was saying when I stopped the video because of the phone call that this house is on 4 stories and it's full of stairs. And so I was thinking about the move. It was going to be so difficult and complicated. It's going to be quite difficult and complicated because of the stairs, of course, but I can make it simpler by not carrying all these weights, and carrying less weights, So in the end, I think that, all this was useful. I think that my crisis with anxiety was useful because I was then asking for help, and calling my sister and asking for help and addressing what was really stressing me out. It's been really useful, and of course, people's help. I mean, I've published these videos with my anxiety, and I had people, giving me support. And one very good friend of mine, who at a certain point, she sent me by WhatsApp a couple of messages, which I received this morning, and it really warmed my heart because she was like wanting to give me, loving support, and I realized that I've been so fragile, I mean, most of you perhaps are going to have an idea about me that I'm like super strong, and I am super strong, and what I've done is quite extraordinary, and I've, gone through hell and back, and recovered from anything, and but that's the point. I'm a recoverist, so I'm going to recover from everything, and I'm going to express as well my vulnerability and my fragility. Or, I mean, I was going to ask all of you, I mean, how do you feel when you see my fragility, and then you see my strength? I mean, are you used to expressing both, because usually the idea I have of people, even friends, and even my family, is that people, show themselves in one way. So they rarely show themselves very vulnerable if they usually show themselves strong. What do you think? I mean, do you show yourself in two extremely different ways? Like strong and vulnerable, for example? Because, yeah, for me, this is natural and this is great, It's true that the videos in which I was really showing my vulnerability were in Italian, so probably you haven't seen them. But, yeah, I was like really very, very fragile and very wanting this support. And when I received this message from my friend, and when I received as well the help, my sister's help, I was really moved because I was so fragile and so needy of support, Sometimes I really feel very needy of support, And then the next morning and the next moment, I'm going to be like, okay, let's go for it, and no worries, But that feeling, I find it pure. I find it, I find those feelings, those extreme feelings, so important, So I want to express them, and this is the whole aim of this YouTube channel or the Instagram videos. The whole aim is to express those feelings before dealing with them, before dealing with them, because the pure feeling is telling us something, and the sharing of that pure feeling is just great. I find it great. I would like to see or to hear someone like expressing real fragility and vulnerability, and then expressing huge strength, that I want to see that. I want to see that multiplicity of the human being, because I think that's a blessing. It's a blessing to share it. What do you think? Huh?